So we are going to just as everybody's arrived, we're playing with all of the bad traits except for the two that one limits artillery and the other that limits or keeps you from having air power. We have those on. Oh, hey, yeah, it was a great game back in the day. Still, I think a good game. I love its sort of tone and tenor. And oh, I always hate these things. Sorry, but BRDX Man. Sorry. And John Kaminsky. Well, names that I can sort of kind of pronounce. Some of them are. Okay, so we're going to continue where we left off, and then depending on how this goes, we may continue the bad traits theme, but jump to the start of Barbarossa. That is, and we're going to retreat, I think, back to here. I think we can dig in better, even though we are on a river, to the town than trying to hold that airport. I know the airport is sort of the victory hex there. But one thing I really have trouble with in people's names is when they substitute like the number 3 for E or some other thing like that. I don't always get just what they are going for. Okay, I think we're ready to end this turn. We have plenty of prestige, but no more core slots available. Yeah, we knew they had advanced to the airport there. Okay, so what we really need to do here, because we don't have the core slots, but we do have the prestige. We can't disband this, Oh. And a supply hex. That's not considered a supply hex. Okay, well, really don't want this unit anymore. That's sort of the problem with this, or one of the problems. Okay, mass attack here looks like it would do well. Okay, Birdman. Yeah, no, I understand, Birdman, about not always having your sort of favorited version. And remember, well, he, because of the randomized supply, did not get more movement. Well, I just don't know how to get rid of that unit the fastest way, whether to walk it here, walk it, maybe I think that's a supply hex. So let's walk in that direction. Hopefully we can disband it sooner rather than later. This is the second follow-on from Poland North. That's what we're looking at here. Now here you have almost nothing left of this unit. We can move up. This will at least deny the Air Force. Or the airport, I should say, to the Poles here. That's looking like to be the best attack at the moment. Well, good to know. Yeah. Well. Yep, we're just going to disband him since he's sitting on the base that we can. We will then return you to here. And he no longer has movement points, but he'll disband next turn. And we will purchase. Let's see, ground attack versus ground attack, 6, 5, 7, 4. Well, since he can be used as a fighter still, we'll purchase him as a replacement there. Okay, we about bumped into there, so that won't be nice being next to that AT again, which I actually sort of missed. Okay, I think that will do it for this turn. Yep. Yeah, that was a mistake. Letting that AT again be right next to my tank. Yeah, just kill the tank by this point. I would rather have fresh units. This is my best tank killing aircraft, so we'll use that. We're going to disband him. Can these guys make it? Nope, not all the way back yet. We want to try to maximize our force on him. Good, they didn't retreat. They'll get the recon bonus. With minimal casualties. Very good. Okay, well here we can now take care of the anti-tank gun. That's what I was sort of afraid of. Well, I was sort of hoping for suicide, but nearly, but didn't quite work. I think he might be out of... No, he's not out of ammo. Ah, yes, the sort of brief pre-order playing that you can do now currently. I think, you know, this game isn't for everybody, because I know some people, man, they want realism. They want something like Close Combat, The Bloody First, or some other game. Fine, if that's what you want, you should get that. But if this game generally appeals to you, they've done it really well, in my opinion. I don't know how close I should get to those guys. Don't know. We can rebuild. I try to evaluate every game in the 150. This will have greater range, so we'll take that. We got plenty of prestige points for that. Try to evaluate every game in the spirit that it was meant, and not just, you know, as a pure arbitrary. If it's trying to be a seriously realistic war game, well, then how well does it do that? If it's trying to be a less serious but still very fun and still trying to catch the spirit of fire and maneuver and that kind of stuff, then I think this does very well. All close combat games, well, I'll find them fun too. Just, yeah, different points of view. Yeah, beer and pretzels, war game, yeah. Not a serious contemplation. And so I just have to say, because I sort of know some of you guys now, and the Slytherin audience, a lot of the viewers here are sort of the core, hardcore war gamers. Okay, we want to bring you, I guess, up to here. Okay, we're going to take Brest. We're going to suicide them in next turn. Artillery. And we're going to swing back up towards Citalis. I'm sure I'm butchering that. Yeah, Gary Grigsby does a really good job with those war games. I've played War in the East. I've not played the Pacific game, but I've seen some video of the Pacific game and it looks really good. Oh, Command. Haha. I will say I've played some of the tutorials for Command Modern Operations. It really gets, from my point of view, really gets more in the simulation field more so than the war game field. So that's something that has a significant learning curve to it. And so I know I have one more point, but hoping to disband these guys, and we'll see what kind of good new unit we can get. Like a new aircraft. Or an anti-aircraft gun. Now we have artillery shooting us axis turn, and we now have bad weather. Okay, well, that means our aircraft won't be operating this turn. Well, first let's march you to here, and no, we still can't disband you. Oh, this is infuriating. Okay, won't let me disband. Well, let's shift you to the other airport, which we can do even in bad weather. Oh, Advanced Squad Leader, that was a fun game back in the day. I haven't played that in, oh, so many years. Oh, it was well done for the type of game it was, I will say that for sure. Okay, we want to use our artillery and take Warsaw here. I just don't know that it's worth attacking. Like I say, we're going to go with a... Well, let's first move you up a little bit. Oh, well, they won't even be able to fire after the movement. Well, we're going to suicide. Boom. Good. Yeah, I know normal. Oh, that didn't work out as well as I'd hope. Operations. You wouldn't be suiciding so much. But we just have to with this current settings. Now, they still won't let me do that. Okay. Well, we can buy a few other things now. What sort of good armor? I'll still no good armor yet. I think I want more artillery. Can we afford the slots? Yes, we can. And that fills that up. Yeah, rules lawyering with my cousin used to do some of that with things like squad leader, as opposed to looking at what would be practical to do, trying to find out. Yep. Computer games will allow you to have an AI opponent, and it doesn't take up a lot of space compared to digital space. Okay, so bad weather, can't use our aircraft, gotta disband this next turn. Let's move into the forest and entrench. You fall back to here. They're putting pressure from this side. Okay, hopefully those infantry will be able to get that. Okay, looking good for this. Well, bit of a wreck of a playthrough. Well, I achieved the goal of eliminating the aircraft that I didn't want. They attacked out. Well, let's first concentrate down here. We're not looking as nice as I would like, but we gotta at least try. I don't have a good option. I don't have any good options. Now, do I bomb or do I attack here? I attack here. For those of you just joining, oh hey Van Bishop, good to see you here. I am playing with all of the bad traits except the two that, well, one that eliminates air power and the other one that eliminates the use of artillery. So those are the two that I have not embraced. Okay. No, we don't want to be clicked on that. We want to, let's see if we can, would these guys from there be able to do it? No, they need to move up a little bit further. So we'll move These guys to here. Bombard. Now at least they'll have artillery backup. Okay, he's still basically frozen. We have 6 free slot. No, I won't purchase. Tactical bomber, second one now, and we still have another 4. I wish I had some good armor. I think trying to get out of some of these, get people out of these cities. I think we need pioneer infantry. So it looked. And hovering over a unit you're about to attack. Other result? No, they are not. They're an estimate. You could be better or worse results. One of the traits that I am playing with currently actually says that the results will never be better than the estimated results. Normally they could be as an option. So they are a an expected results, and then there's a die roll. Gives you an idea of how likely they are. Well, I hate 21st Gen. I'd love to play board games, also miniature games, but just finding opponents and be able to play, whether it's at 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon or whenever, it's just hard to do. So I have mostly given them up, both the miniatures and the, board game type. And it's not because I want to give them up. It's just, like say opponents and trying to arrange all that is just never terribly easy. Okay, I think we've done all we can do this turn. I wouldn't call us on track towards victory, but and yes, as we can see what's happening here, another one of the traits I have eliminates our zones of control, so they're able to move right around our forces. Now, why did the AI think it prudent to move the artillery up next to me? That seems to be a bad AI move. Because that was basically a free shot on. Okay. You play fighter. We don't yet have any 109s. You play bomber because we want to weaken this as much as possible. Getting a reconnaissance bonus, which improves accuracy. These guys will come up and protect the flanks of the artillery from any attacks from the armor that we know is lurking about. Yeah. Now I have, and I'll post the link later just because I don't want you to go away during the live stream, but I've posted on my YouTube channel an evaluation of all of the good and the bad traits, a video covering all of that. But we're going to focus on this for the moment, see if we can get. These are just bad and worse options. And no, I have not played this out any more than just playing this. That's sort of why, because I don't think I'm necessarily going to succeed at this. Why I'm thinking of doing the Barbarossa next after this battle. So that could be done whether we succeed or lose. Okay. Well. Now we're back. We have 3. So I think we'll do this. We can afford the trucks. They don't take up a slot. Yeah, I think we should push from here at this point. Yeah, I'm playing with the beta. A lot of the streamers, because when I actually sort of started this, that you streamers or YouTubers you're seeing, they're playing with a sort of a locked pre-release version. So I don't quite know exactly what is going to change. Like one of the things in here I notice is the wagons for the towing of artillery, say, don't seem to have any horses as part of them. I don't know if that's a design choice or just they haven't added the horses yet. I don't know. So I'm some of that stuff is for me, and I'm sure I could ask and someone would tell me, but I just haven't. But yeah, this is still a beta version of what you'll be getting. Or presumably that was probably for the pre... Oh man, this looks bad. I don't have a good option here. Okay, we'll just sit on the defensive. This isn't working out well. And again, I don't recommend anybody playing the way I'm doing now. Yep, I know you're going to munch my artillery. And that was the only thing that was going to allow me to possibly take the city. Now that artillery is incredibly weak now that it's down to a strength of 3. You again play fighter. No. Okay. Again, because of our incompetent logistics, that unit isn't ready to fire this turn. It can be quite annoying. Flamethrower on flamethrower violence, okay. You come up. Close them down some. And our armor car will take Warsaw. Okay, well that gives us 1 objective. Okay, we've now spotted more of their force. Let's move up in trucks and dismount. And that's a very loud airplane flying rather low overhead. Okay, now back to this thing. We're focusing in on taking that, but they're at 15 strength, so that isn't probably going to happen. Well, they fell back. We'll keep that pressure up. Not good. Best on the defensive there. Nope, not a good enough reason to attack. You come here because we're going to disband you next turn and get more. Yeah, horses not yet. Flamethrower on flamethrower action is not permitted without the safe word. You got that right. Some hot flamethrower on hot flamethrower action. Yeah, good. I like that. I like that indeed. Okay, so This is gonna fail. We have taken Warsaw at least. Well, anything we can disband or not really this turn. Unless, no, not this turn. Okay, they didn't even get defensive artillery, and now the horsies are charging in to kill them and encircle them and push them out of encirclement and getting bombed. This does show you how much the traits really affect the game. Well, let's take you down to here. We'll try to sort of suicide you on these guys. See, that worked. Now, between losing the armored car and those aircraft, each turn moves the clock, and I keep hoping for a better tank. These are only 2 slots, so let's grab one. And another thing you may notice compared to the earlier version of Panzer Corps, each unit has its own, what I call, weight. And so as you can see here, a motorized artillery piece here takes more slots than an lighter 75mm gun. Now, a big 150mm proper howitzer takes as many slots, so you sort of have to judge on what you want to do and how many slots you have. We'll start on the road there. Okay, well, no. How far can you go in this campaign on the beta? I think with the beta, I think everything is unlocked. I have not played the entire campaign, but to the best of my knowledge, nothing is specifically locked on the beta. Okay, well, you can move up and then dismount. Okay, that's good. We know where you are and we know where he is now, even though I already sort of knew. Yeah. Do a strike on the armor there. Okay, well, let's come here. This is not a supply hex. And so I cannot just blatantly kill it. At this point, this is just a suicide mission. So yeah, now that again opens up slots. Interesting fact about the Panzer I's, they were sent to Spain during the Spanish Civil War, and they ran into these other objects on the battlefield. Oh yeah, called tanks. And since they were only armed with MG-15s, that was the sort of light machine gun they had in their duel of them. they had real difficult problems punching armor. We're, I think, going to take, we got 6. Is there something super powerful here that we could use? I don't know. These guys have better armor penetration, so we're going to purchase them. Oh, we're not going to deploy them just yet. Oh, no, these guys. Okay, yes, we are deploying these guys now. Here, I guess. And so, they were particularly facing the Soviet T-26. So the Germans quickly went in and developed an AP ammo, armor-piercing ammo for them, that would pierce the armor fairly reliably of a Soviet T-26 out to about 500 yards. Well, after a while, the tank crewmen, I don't know whether they were Soviets or, local Spanish, but they were figuring this out, and so they would maneuver and stay approximately, okay, well, one of these, yeah, let's go with lots of air power here. Yeah, we can do this close by, and let's see how a lot of air power works. I know we got 5 turns left, probably just don't have enough time in turns. But yeah, it's a limitation of the weapon. And we have another 2. I think we are going to go with more. I like the 222 just generally as a armored vehicle. You may be able to tell. Okay, well, yeah, the Panzer I was never really meant to be a combat vehicle. It was meant to be a training vehicle, because you can actually look at photos. I don't know if I've ever seen any. Maybe I've seen some film footage, but photos of basically 4 guys sitting in a more than an open top, meaning I don't think there's any armor on it at all, but meaning the whole superstructure, none of the turret, none of the upper target superstructure or tank superstructure is there. Just there's an engine in the back, has the tracks, and they were using that for a while as a training vehicle, just to sort of like, even before that they were using automobiles that had wooden or whatever they were, actually maybe even just stamped metal, just thin tinny metal, just to simulate tanks. So they were just really meant to sort of like, hey, how do we use these new things called tanks? Because you remember they're big, the what is it, the A7V, I know there's an A and a 7 and V in it, but the big World War I sort of landship type tanks, and those are obviously way different. And so the Germans had no real experience using a sort of fast tanks, so they just needed something. And so, they came up with the Panzer I, just something to drive around with. And I think it's government paranoia that they didn't want to send, because I'm very sure they had some Panzer IIs with the 20mm gun, even early on in the stages, because it's right around late 36, early 37, the earliest Panzer IIs come out. But for sure by 38, 39, they had Panzer IIs in reasonable numbers that they could have sent to Spain, but they never did. So they only sent the Panzer Is. Now Spain, I hope you're interested in all this stuff. Spain, you can see some photos, and I think there's a few that are still left around. They took the Panzer I, added a little bit to the top. We can maybe zoom in here, show off another feature of the game. Here, the zoom in ability on these vehicles. See, it's actually pretty nice model once you zoom in. It just, to me, this looks nice, but doesn't offer much advantage for gameplay, this zoomed in. But what they did is they sort of took the top off of the turret here and made another sort of thing about equal height and welded it on with a bigger sort of a frontal matlet, and put a 20mm gun of probably a Hispano Suiza or something, I don't know, 20mm gun in there for theirs. Because Germans basically left all their Panzer Is there when they yes, exactly. Zoloysius, I'm sure I'm butchering that too. Yeah, proof of concept for the doctrine, and that's what this was meant to be. And it was just pressed into service way too early. Okay, so we bought a lot of stuff for next turn. Okay, yeah, let's just end this turn. And me prattling on about obscure tank facts. The AI really does like striking at artillery, as you can see, with the air power, or anything else. So remember to protect your... Oh, now that I got all these really nice big bombers. Oh, I guess the strategics will work. I have not used the strategics. I've just been using the tacticals. Right, well, oh, no, okay, it's just cloudy. It's not rainy. That's why it works. Okay, because rainy weather, no air operations. I guess cloudy weather, air operations. Probably affects the air operations effectiveness, but I'm used to normally seeing either raining or not raining. Yeah, you come and play fighter. No, you're not really. Well, you are a destroyer, which is not a fighter, but that one's not going to be allowed to attack. Okay. Start off suppressing these guys. These guys will come and make a flank attack. There. Basically, I'm just grinding them away. They're going to fall back. We're going to pursue. And they died. We're going to move up the artillery, who's already shot. That way we can... Okay, we're going to move him in here, him in here. That way we get the recon bonus. However much it might help. Not a whole lot. Probably just should have bought more recon at this point, so we get proper tanks of some sort. And they withdrew. These guys can't attack this turn because of our bad logistic trait, but these guys can and finish them off. Again, this is not the way you should be able to be playing this. When I say the tractor was literally a tractor, the Germans could mount armor on a gun on and used it for training to get around. Yes, and yes, Scott Poet, absolutely. The Germans were also very much in a, shall we say, an attempt to hide the fact that some of the stuff was being developed post-war. They wanted to try to say, oh, these are left over from the, you know, the Great War, the Weltkrieg or whatever. Now, another limitation when we don't have, when we can't go into the fog of war, we can't even fly through the fog of war to get down here to lend air support. So we might as well just hit you here this turn. He's almost dead. Yeah, it's probably just hope for some real damage, but none. Yes, I'm so glad people are enjoying this game. Okay, we're still full up. None, these guys hopefully will die this next turn. These guys are... Oh, wait a minute. They moved up. Again, this is something I would say the AI needs to be fixed at. Sometimes a lot of stuff is, you know, value judgment. Should tanks make rash attacks on rear area artillery, then get destroyed? Maybe, maybe not. Depends on how damaging you think the artillery, but no way should you be moving the artillery next to infantry like that to just get killed. That's just a bad AI. So I don't know if anybody from the devs are watching this, or somebody wants to post it in the forum with a timestamp here or something they could see that it's happening. Okay, so we're still full up. We can't reinforce. Yep. Oh, maybe I should have moved those guys back up to there. Damn, I messed that one up. Okay, clear weather. Now here, well, we're gonna do that. Now our ersatz fighters are gonna come in here and go after them. Yeah, I know you're gonna attack my bombers. Not pushed out. Okay, well, and we've taken that. Okay, so we've got that. That's good. Don't know that we're going to be able to get the rest. Well, you're going to move right next to them. Maybe they'll kill you next time. They won't have to move out. Too far forward, but we will swap to this airbase here. I think they're going to die because no, they have another airbase to switch to. That's what they'll be doing next turn. Switching air bases. Let's move to here. Maybe they can take. Yeah, that may be empty. There we go. Now you say the leader has done away with the Treaty of Versailles. Well, they were still slowly grinding away at that by 36. I think it's late 36. They finally cut off some of the treaty ports. I don't know how much of you are interested in this, but as part of the greater scheme of Versailles Treaty or treaties, Czechoslovakia got to have their own sort of extraterritorial areas in several major German ports. It was Bremerhaven or one of those over in Stettin, that all connected to barge rivers that would go to Czechoslovakia, so that they could put stuff on barges, have it sealed up, go through Germany, go to these special port areas, and then be exported out or take imports into Czechoslovakia without going through German customs. Those still had to be removed. They were still grinding away at the Treaty of Versailles and different elements of it. So it wasn't quite the, complete either exists or doesn't exist thing. And you have to look at, through the whole period of operations in Spain, Germany never publicly admitted to having basically the Condor Legion operate in Spain, but including the ground operation forces. They even had some naval units operating as part of the quote-unquote blockade to keep international forces from interfering with the Spanish Civil War. Now, of course, both sides were always looking the other way when, Soviet reinforcements going in, the British and the French would look the other way, and German and Italian reinforcements, the German Navy would look the other way. And it wasn't only until after the sort of final victory of Franco that they did a big, huge parade in Berlin and then really publicly admitted that they had been there all that time, in official sort of language. And, the guys all got new brown uniforms that supposedly that they had been wearing in Spain, and did the march in Berlin in 39 there. So it wasn't until after Franco's victory did they really start to admit that they were even there in a sort of public format. Zero-air operations with rainy weather. A bit excessive, I might agree with. It's a storm. Yeah, when you're looking at something like strategic command, I entirely agree with you, Van Bishop. Here, if it's just one day, yeah, I can see the idea that it's rainy enough that no attack operations. Now, within this game, you can rebase to a new airbase on rainy days, but that's about it. And so, yeah, I can sort of agree. Okay, just checking everything. Yeah, we're not going to win this, of course, in time. But hey, okay, you killed my artillery. Good, finally. Well, let's move you down here. Oh, they are there. Okay, so that doesn't really work to try to pick that up. You're not going to attack, you're just going to go next to them. You're going to pick at these guys. These guys are going to do an airstrike there. Yeah, I really didn't expect to actually win this, but I was gonna give it a shot. Let's rebase. Yeah, you're basically out of range now. Let's see. Yeah, there's probably nothing really to buy in 2 turns that I can get to the front and use effectively. We're getting mass attack ×2, which really messes them up. These guys also getting that and eliminating them. Them to come up to there. Well, we're close. Well, they've taken that back somehow. Oh well. Not that that really matters at this point. Okay, let's end this. But don't go anywhere. We're gonna do one of the opening operations of Barbarossa next, again as the worst general. Yes, turn 15. Yeah, well, beta testing games can be frustrating. I know it always seems like really cool to sort of, yeah, I want to be there and be part of it, but yeah, just not quite good enough to make it a reality. You wouldn't think that radios would allow. Large. Yeah, well, radios in World War II. You do know that, well, the nation, in my understanding, has the most radios, and down farthest is the United States. But they and Germany and a lot of others still heavily relied upon field telephones for their operations because radio operation ranges, a lot of that going on, weather effects. You know, the little Kettenkrad, the little sort of motorcycle half-track thing. One of its primary purposes for use throughout at least the second half of the war is that they had a big spool on the back of it where the instead of taking up the space where the two would sit in the back, that they would use that to lay across ruggedish terrain, but sort of at the most straight link to lay field telephone cables. They were constantly doing that, and so I doubt most infantry companies, did they even have a radio in the German army? Now, just about every tank did, and armored car and those kind of things. Now, the the U.S. was getting down to platoon level for its handheld one, and the backpack was type radio was normally a company asset. So you know, there's a lot of that going on. So, and then you have to look at this game. It constantly varies as to the scale of what these units represent. Are these a reconnaissance platoon, a reconnaissance company, a reconnaissance battalion? You know, and so, yeah, we all sort of kind of think so. I guess we can move up here. This is the last turn here. We're going to lose overrun, but okay, you get to come back here. Well, for being the worst general, I think we did reasonably well, all things considered. Like I say, don't go away. We're going to be back with... Or not back, we're going to go to another playthrough here very shortly. Yep, we're defeated here.